It's really flowing good now. That's what I want to see. Okay, it's coming. Well, out here in the daylight, you get a better picture of this 250,000-mile radiator from Toyota, and sitting right next to it is the brand new one. Well, I'm about to embark on a journey in which I have never embarked before. This 2005 4Runner with the 4.7-liter V8 needs a new radiator. You can see we're leaking right there, which is really coming from the side tanks somewhere up there. This 4Runner has 243,980 miles on the clock. At 250,000 miles, something's gonna break. And in this case, it was the radiator. They are known about 250,000 miles to leak just like this. And I'm thanking the Lord on this one because I was loading up my trailer when I noticed the leak. It was pretty profuse in my driveway, and I knew right when I saw it, there's no way I could drive this another foot. I was about to go tow something, and that could have ended in disaster. So what do you do when you need a new radiator? Well, you can go to your local automotive supply shops, but unfortunately that's probably going to be the most expensive option, you know, if you're doing it yourself. What I did was went to Rock Auto and I picked up this guy. If you can see, it's a Denso radiator, which is actually this guy right here. And this looks exactly like the one that's in the 4Runner now. Now, there are a few steps involved here, and the first of which is going to be to drain out this old fluid. Now, real quick, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Do not do what I do. Do your own research, your own due diligence, and come to your own conclusions. And you can see on the inside of the skid plate, just underneath that radiator, where we did have some leakage there. And with that skid plate removed, we can finally attempt to drain this radiator. Right up here is the drain port, and I have attached a clear vinyl tubing just to make this as messless as possible. This will drain right into my drain bucket. So I'll now attempt to loosen this, and that wasn't that hard. I don't want to take this all the way out. And there we go. What is going on? There we go. There we go. And you can see that Toyota pink fluid leaking right into my drain bucket. I'm not spilling a drip anywhere. There we go. It's really flowing good now. I opened it a little more. That's what I want to see. All right, so we are draining into our drain bucket. You can see we are not spilling a drop of coolant. Our cap is removed, so this is able to flow pretty quickly. While that's finishing up, I'm going to remove a couple hoses here. We have the overflow tank hose and the upper radiator hose, which I will be replacing. This should just spin right off. Yep, just like that. Now I can take this whole reservoir and set it aside. And for this upper radiator hose, I'm just going to detach it here from the engine side. Get that hose clamp up. All right, I got it loose. I was able to just stick a screwdriver in here and twist it at the same time, and the seal broke. There we go. I've now also disconnected this lower radiator hose, which connects right here. The next hoses I need to remove are these transmission lines. There's one up here and the same one down below. This hose is definitely turning out to be a little more difficult than I thought. It's just really me not wanting to damage the hose, so I'm trying very hard not to, but we'll get it. So this upper line is removed and it's no longer leaking. However, this lower line is obviously going to have some fluid in it as well. So I followed this down and found the other end of that hose just here. And I think I can disconnect this hose and just let it drain out. And hopefully I'll only lose the fluid that's in the tank here. Trying to twist it to break the seal. There we go. We'll see what leaks here. Okay, we are leaking out of the hose, of course. That wasn't that much. And we're not going to leak out of the tube up here. So that's good. At this point, all the hoses are as disconnected as they need to be. So the next step is to detach this fan shroud. We only have 2 bolts on the top. Once we remove those, this fan shroud should pick up and be able to move out of the way. All right, one of the bolts is down here below this upper radiator hose. It's a 10 millimeter. All right, with that out, both bolts are out. Now I believe, yeah, I can just pick up on this, which comes out of the clips that are down below, and You know what, I probably should remove this intake tube that goes to the throttle body as well. So fan shroud is now removed. By removing this intake tube and sliding it up over the throttle body, I had a lot of room. So now this thing is out of the way. Now the only thing I actually have to do here is lift this radiator straight up and out. However, I am trying to cut a few corners by leaving some of these hoses on the radiator itself. This whole thing should come out with hoses attached just fine. So we're down to our last 4 fasteners. We basically have one at each corner of this radiator. Okay, there we go. I have a wrench backing the bolt on the other side. Oh, weird. Looks like this nut has a pretty large flange on it with a hole in it to obviously set it a specific way. Okay, that's one. Well, the top 2 bolts for the radiator are out, but I wanted to show you exactly how to reach this bolt that's way deep in there. This is my setup. You can see these extensions. They are gonna go all the way in there. So that's like 1.5 feet or more. All right, just broke that loose. Well, I realize now why the nut and the washer basically had a hole. That's so you can get at the bolts from the front side and the nut will stay in place. Lesson learned. So all 4 bolts are loose and out, and we're gonna see if we can pick this thing up out of here. All right, fan shroud. Slowly but surely. Hoses are obviously going to hang things up, but they're all disconnected, so okay, it's coming. This is good. This is good. All right. Here we go. We got it. We got it. Nice. There's the old original radiator with 250,000 miles on it. Well done, Toyota. Well, out here in the daylight, you get a better picture of this 250,000 mile radiator from Toyota, and sitting right next to it is the brand new one. And wow, what a difference. Obviously, this one is fresh and clean, but just seeing all that dirt, you can really see some of the life that this thing has been put through. And comparing the 2 side by side, you can see they both look virtually identical. And on the passenger side here, we have our 2 ports for our transmission, our lower radiator hose, which all matches up on this side as well. The drain ports are the same. This is basically the same exact unit. And I'm going to be replacing both the upper and lower radiator hoses because, you know, while I'm in there. So I'm matching up the hoses that I bought, which are by Gates. This one is 22832, and this one looks to be exact. And this upper radiator hose, same thing, and this one is 22831. So I have my 2 brand new radiator hoses going on. I also bought a brand new radiator cap, and lastly I bought a brand new thermostat and seal. I just figured while I'm in there, you might as well replace it. And the thermostat is extremely easy to get to. 3 nuts should remove this housing, and I should be able to swap the old one out and the new one in. Ooh, that hurt. Oh man. The nuts are now all removed. There we go. Wow, that looks really, really clean in there. Well, looking at this thermostat, it looks really, really good. I'm assuming this has been changed before, or that Toyota pink coolant really keeps things clean in here. How do you pull this thing out, man? It's not wanting to come out. How come this thing's not coming out, dude? Oh, man. Well, of course I didn't get that on camera. Thing just popped out and coolant spilled everywhere. So that's great. Well, here's that old thermostat I just pulled out. You can see it says 82 degrees Celsius. I don't know what brand that is. There's the back with the springs. And here's the new ASIN unit. You can see it also is 82 degrees Celsius. I do feel like just looking at these two that the ASIN seems like a higher quality unit. I'm assuming this one is not original and it's probably been replaced. Well, the seal here doesn't look like it's directional. All right, we're installed. Go ahead and put this in. Should sit nice and flush. And this little port here should be up. I just fitted the lower radiator hose as well as that lower transmission line. So those are all good to go. And you can see here in this mounting hole, I had to transfer over the rubber isolator. You can see up here the new radiator did not come with anything, but these are still in good shape and very easy to take out. The rest of this just kind of Pulls through. I think it's time to drop this thing in here. No. Hopefully you can see the fan shroud right here. I'm hanging up on that. I'm trying to get around it. Brand new hose, man. Let's see. Okay, there's that. Something like that. We'll have to. Well, the job is practically done. The radiator's in, the fan shroud is in. All of the hoses are reattached. All the clamps are there. All the screws, bolts, everything. It's all done. I put the overflow reservoir back on. The only thing that I haven't done is filled this back up with Toyota pink antifreeze. So I'm gonna find some of that. Well, it's been a few days. The job is done, but I had to do my research on exactly what kind of coolant I was gonna use to refill the system. You see, the engine still has coolant in it. I don't really know if that is OEM Toyota super long life coolant or if it's just, you know, an aftermarket off the shelf coolant. I just have no way of knowing that. I'm assuming it's probably an aftermarket coolant, and because of that, I want to do a full flush. However, right now, just to get this thing back up on the road, I just bought some off-the-shelf coolant, and this is what I bought. This is Prestone. It says it's made for Asian vehicles, including Toyota, Lexus, and Scion, and it says for all years. Now, the thing that threw me for a loop was the red cap, and all over this it says that the fluid is red. It says that it can top off or replace red fluid, but the Toyota fluid and this fluid that came out of this vehicle is pink. Well, turns out the fluid in this bottle is very fluorescent pink, not actually red. And the more research I did, this does say on the website that this can replace red or pink fluid. So I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes with all this stuff. All I know is from the research I did, it seems that this stuff is perfectly fine and perfectly compatible with the Toyota original equipment fluid, which might not even be what's in this might be what's in the vehicle anyway. So we're just gonna get this thing up and running with this Prestone Platinum red fluid. That is Toyota, Lexus, Scion, all years. Let's do it. Now, aside from the coolant that spilled on the ground, which really wasn't much, this is basically all I was able to get out of that old radiator. We're just gonna go ahead and start refilling this thing and hope we can top it off and get all the bubbles out. I know this looks janky here, but I bought the wrong funnel, and then I found this one that I then had to modify the end of it, and it barely fits in the tiny little hole here, so I taped it just to give me a little extra support while I'm trying to pour this thing. Well, that's super interesting. I wanted to see exactly how much fluid was in this blue container, so I filled this empty jug. I was able to fill the entire jug, and this is only a 1 gallon jug. So I think that we basically had 1 gallon of fluid in there. And this is a new gallon I just opened and started pouring, but since the other one was about 3/4 full, I really need to take this funnel off and check how full the radiator is. Well, looking down in there, I can see that it is not all the way full yet. I probably have about another 1/8 to go. Well, I filled it up to the point where it overflowed, unfortunately, but I put the cap on. I don't have any fluid in the overflow tank yet. I'm gonna do that here in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a start just so I can get this thing off the ramps on a level surface and we can get the engine, you know, heated up. Heard a little belt slip. That's because we had some antifreeze fall on the belt there. But other than that, everything sounds nice and smooth, just like this Toyota has always been. Now, I'm also not forgetting that I did lose some transmission fluid with the side tank when I disconnected those two lines. So I'm gonna wanna make sure that I check that as well. Well, that went a lot easier than I thought. It is up to operating temperature. And the only extra thing I did was to fill up this reservoir just to that fill line, the full line right there. The upper radiator hose is nice and hot. Well, I've been driving this thing with 0 issues, which is really good. I have the heater on right now on high, so it's sweltering in this car, and my temperatures are perfect. The overflow tank is perfect. This is my second day actually driving this thing just to make sure that I wasn't going to have any issues. But I'm pretty confident that the radiator replacement with the refill on the Prestone red fluid, everything is working out beautifully. And I'm super happy with that Denso radiator, with just how affordable that was. And Denso, as you probably know, is an OEM for Toyota. A lot of the parts on this vehicle are Denso parts from the factory. To be able to put a Denso radiator in this thing, I have full confidence that this radiator is probably built to the same standards as the original one that I just took out of this vehicle. So for 250,000 miles, about 243,986 to be exact, that radiator definitely did its job. And I'm hoping that this new radiator can last just as long. Well, as you can hear, this thing is running. I am keeping an eye on this overflow tank because the more I drive this thing, I'm realizing that there's obviously some air bubbles and air pockets that have been filled with coolant. So therefore this overflow is a little bit low. But overall, everything worked out beautifully. I'm really happy that I changed both the upper and lower main radiator hoses as well as that thermostat while I was in there. And that's it, guys. The 2005 Toyota 4Runner Limited with the 4.7 liter V8. I tell you what, as a Chevy guy myself, I am very, very impressed with this Toyota. I don't have a lot of experience with Toyotas. This is my first. But everything so far has been really easy to work on, and this radiator was no exception. I mean, extremely affordable, it's Denso, extremely easy to install, and so far I'm having no issues, and I don't anticipate having any either. For that first radiator to last basically 250,000 miles, I'm stoked. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It really helps this video and the whole channel. And if you've watched this far and you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I'm Jimmy for One Road, and I will see you in the next one.